Alright. I am going now to the second match in Group A. We already had Green and Alkazjeff. We have 2 players remaining. I will once again, oops, I totally forgot because I was going to write down how long each match was. I had a timer open. So this one was just under 26 minutes. And that was Green and Alkazjeff. Alright, we're going to clear that. We're going to randomize a Colosseum. We're going to the third Colosseum, which, if I recall correctly, is Waterfall. Waterfall Colosseum. That is where we will go. And from Group A, once again, we will now see Ako, who has a dragon team, versus Random. Some not fully evolved Pokemon on Random's team and 6 legendary Pokemon on Ako's team. So that is going to be quite something. Gaming script, that is assuming that it's 3 points. I never actually said it's 3 points for a win. I would have put that in, 3 points for a win. However, challenge, when I put in round robin, or at least in the style that I did it, doesn't allow me to actually give up points. It just counts the wins, but considering it's very unlikely to get 3 ties to tie with someone that got 1 win, which is actually impossible, it doesn't actually matter. But my intention is 3 points for a win, 1 point for a tie. So if that becomes important at the end of the group stage, I'll manually do some calculations, but it should not matter. So yeah, the intention was Alkazjeff now does have 3 points and 0 for Green. Match 2, Dragon Lady, Ako, and High Tech Maniac Random. Also, a lot of the text that the characters say when sending out a Pokemon, when greeting each other, when winning, when losing, etc., just goes with their trainer class, but some of them I've made custom. Especially in later groups. I think in Group C there's one, and the Group D there's actually 2 characters that I did that for. There's some custom things, and there's some references to various games in there too, which I think will be very much appreciated by those that get it. It's time to get match number 2, Ako vs. Random, underway. Waterfall Colosseum. Alright, Atios and Atios come out first. Now the other side we have Dragoon the Dragonite and Firebreath the Yanma. Adios is the Latios and Adios is the Latios. Latios moves first and gets a Dark Void! Oh, that is so powerful in double battles. Misses the Dragoon, but still can be used by Pokemon other than Darkrai in this game. If it's called by something like Metronome, can still be used with Smeargle. Its accuracy, I think it's still 80% in this game instead of like 50 or 55 in later games. Dark Void is so good in double battles. Not the best move I would say in this Metronome tournament, but still it is very good. I'd say it's among the better ones. Close combat, very strong move, but not that much damage due to Latias resisting it with its psychic typing. And for the rest of this game, unless it's switched out, Dragonite does have an attack drop, making its physical attacks weaker, but it also has a defense drop. That defense drop may really work against it if there's multiple physical moves against it. They're just going after that Yanma now. It's asleep and it's going to get hit by a fire punch. Very good moves from Akko's side up until this point. Here comes a Confuzzle Ray on the Yanma. So even when it wakes up, it's going to be like, huh? What happened here? Why am I here? Why am I hit? Why was I asleep? I was supposed to be fighting. Dragonite comes in with a reversal, and it's still at good health, and its attack was lower. That's going to do nothing. Yeah, that was basically nothing. That's less than 1/16 of Latios' health. Latios. Comes Latios again. New Metronome. Just, it's the reversal itself, but that's not going to do much more than the previous reversal. Even with the defense drop in Dragonite. Magnet Rise isn't going to do much because it's already levitating. Fire Breath does wake up, but it's confused and it hits itself and almost KOs itself as well. Dragonite. Guard Swap. Does that change the base stats or just the changes? All changes, it says it. Which means it is back at normal defense. And the Latias now has that defense drop that came from close combat. The attack drop will still be on the Dragonite. Latios, Metronome. Full tackle, that is murder. It had like 2 HP, come on. Dark Void, Fire, like Confuser, yeah. Fire Punch, and then full tackle. That was no damage because it has such low HP. But Yanma is out. Akko now leads 6-5. Latios still has a turn. It's not just that Latios and all the other Pokemon have a general base stat advantage over Random's team. They're just getting the really good moves. Dark Void, Full Tackle, Fire Punch. There's some really good ones. And Minimize may really help out dodging a lot of moves. Let's see if they can make good use of that. Let's go to Random's third Pokemon. Cleaner the Dustox. You might have seen it is, I think, a Nest Ball on Random's team. All Pokemon of theirs are in a Nest Ball. And I don't remember what Akko's ones are in. We'll just see when a new Pokemon is sent out, because I don't remember. Headbutt from Latios. Decent move. Might even flinch the Dustox. 30% chance, I believe. Latios and Latios move first, and that can be very useful as well. Charge. Speaking of moving first, the Yanma didn't have speed boosted as its ability, otherwise it may have moved first at some point. But I think it would have had Compound Eyes. It was Tinted Lens for the Yanmega. It's Compound Eyes for the Yanma, giving higher accuracy to moves. I could see both being important. Speed boost to be able to go first, maybe get an extra turn. Stop something else from getting a turn if you KO it. But adding accuracy to something like Dark Void or Fire Blast or Zap Cannon can be very useful. The Lick, super effective on the Latios. Is it paralyzed? Yes, it is. Making it slower, and also a 25% chance to lose the turn as well. So not that much damage, but this could be a very nice turn by that Dustox. Latios was able to set up a Calm Mind, so it does have one stage of lower defense, but an increase in special attack and special defense, which double hit isn't going to make use of. That helps it defensively, it helps offensively. As long as he uses special attacks. Ice Ball, though, is a physical move. Latios has lowered defense. So even with the lowered attack from Dragonite, that is huge. I named a bunch of status moves already, like Ingrain, like Disable, like Leech Seed, that are very useful. Latios actually got Leech Seed earlier, but missed. I say Ice Ball and Rollouts are among the better offensive moves. You know, Latios healing. I'd say Ice Ball and Rollout is among the better ones, because when you keep attacking, the attack also keeps getting stronger. And so far, the Ice Ball, this is the second time we've seen it, because we also saw it in the first match. Ice Ball keeps hitting super effective things, because then it was on a Flygon and a Torterra. Now, that was 4 times effective. Now it's just 2 times effective, but still, it's very effective on the Latios on its dragon typing. Fake out trying to flinch, but that only works in the opening turn. This is what random needs. With the entire other team being dragon type. Ice Ball, something super effective against dragons, may just be what they need to win this, because on base stats, they're not going to win it. Sandstorm. Ooh, Sandstorm was a very interesting thing when the teams were put together. I hadn't thought of this when I announced a tournament when people were signing up for it. Oh, and meanwhile, they won't mind that Latios are stuck in Petal Dance, especially if Dustox keep being the target. Or Dragonite, 4 times resisted by both of them. You know, Sandstorm and Hail, Snow for Abomasnow, Hippopotas, Powder, and Tyranitar set up damaging weather. And because that's through an ability, it won't go away. Like the Sandstorm that was set up by Dustox will go away after 5 turns. But it's set up by an ability, it doesn't. So that's why things like Tyranitar and Abomasnow, if they're on any team, they'll always be sent out last. Unless there's also a Kyogre or a Groudon on that same team, in which case, let's say the Tyranitar will go 5th and then the Groudon will go 6th to then disable the Sandstorm, because they feel that the permanent Hail or Sandstorm will disrupt things too much. Sandstorm won't be dealing damage here though, because the only Pokemon with Airlock in the entire tournament is on the field. So Sandstorm will stay, but it shouldn't deal any damage. Meanwhile, that is something that is 4 times weak to Ice Ball. So is it going to be a 5-4 lead on this turn? I would, in a way, I want to keep it going longer, but I also want to see effective hits. Dragonite hits the Ice Ball, hits the 4 times effectiveness. Rayquaza's gone 5-4 lead for random, and there might still be 2 Ice Balls remaining, which keep doubling in power. So unless they send out something that I think Dialga only is normal affected by it, but still, a 1 attack stage lowered... No, actually, it was close combat. It doesn't lower attack. What am I talking about? It lowers both defenses. So Latias actually had a lower defense and a lower special defense. The superpower that does attack and defense. Close combat is defense and special defense. And totally ignore what I said about Airlock stopping the Sandstorm, because there's no Rayquaza. What are you talking about? So as long as Dragonite just keeps hitting whatever keeps coming in, that's going to be amazing for random. Latios, meanwhile, just did 2 Petal Dances, dealt almost no damage because both Pokemon 4 times resisted it, and is now confused. And is paralyzed. After that Dark Void, Fire Punch, Full Tackle opening from Akko, suddenly with this bit of Petal Dance, but especially the Ice Ball, Random's taken over. They need to take out that Dragonite. Let's see what Urei does. The Giratina, Ice Fang. No, that should have been a Dragonite. Oh no, I want to take out the Dustox. It's an easier KO. Sure, you get the 4-4 score. But as long as that 90% accurate Ice Ball hits again, that's going to be another KO. And it hits again, and it's on the defensive Giratina, but it doubled in power from last turn. 4-3. And there's still 1 full power Ice Ball remaining for next turn. I thought that Akko would win the group, which might still be possible. Because of the base stats, they have the higher chance, but chance. And I spoke about this with my viewers at Gaming Scorp, among others, also in the tournament Discord. Yeah, even the legendary team might be able to be beat by a team with a bunch of not fully evolved Pokemon. With a bit of luck, because in the end, it is Metronome, and this is exactly how that happened. Now, Palkia isn't weak to Ice Ball, but Ice Ball does keep working. Nosepass, one of the not fully evolved Pokemon on the team of random, but they do lead 4-3. Latios still confused and paralyzed, and there's still an Ice Ball coming. But then again, right after that, Baby Mario might use Explosion, so that could completely change the game. Something like Explosion or Lunar Dance. Low chance it happens, but it can happen. Pearl moves first. Pearl goes with Glare on the nose pass. That's a free chance for Ice Ball to hit. Not weak, but it's a critical hit on the Palkia. Dragonite, and it looks like it always targets the same slot, so that's good to know for the future. Still, I suppose a chance that it's random, that it always went for the same one, but... That Dragonite hitting Ice Ball against the Dragon team. Yeah, I did say I'll send out the Pokemon in the order that they are on the Battle Pass. And the Dialga and Palkia, the two that aren't weak to Ice Ball. You know, Doom Desire also hitting the nose pass. The two that are weak to Ice Ball came up last. By that time, Ice Ball had built up enough power to take even them out. Ice Ball is now done with a under half HP paralyzed Latios and a Dialga that just came in. It's gonna be hard. Okay, then we gives the higher base. That Seed Flares, try it again, but missed just like in the first match. What's the Dragonite gonna do? Another great move? Rest. Not bad. It heals over half of its HP. Overheat from Latios. That's a big hit, but it's even if it's critical hit, it's on a nose pass. So that's only half damage, and Latios' special attack is now falls. And considering they can't switch anymore, they need every stat they can get. Tail Glow on Baby Mario with what? Tail?
It's special attack Rose.
Either way, special attack Rose might see some pretty decent special attacks from that nose pass. Base special attack stat isn't all that high, I believe. But you never know. You can see a lot of strange things in Metronome battles. Dialga then Punishment. What missing? Oh, that minimized from before Ice Ball. I was gonna say that shouldn't miss. There's no Gen 1 miss thing in Battle Evolution. A critical again on Nose Pass. But Dragonite still has that minimize, evasiveness increase. That's how it missed. Magnitude. Not hitting the Dragonite. Also not hitting the Latios. But dealing not much damage at all to Dialga. But at least it hit the Dialga and it didn't affect the Dragonite. So still a nice move, I would say, by Nose Pass. Dialga with Bullet Punch. Stab. It's a Steel type. Need to deal a lot more damage to get through these Pokemon. I understand that they're going for Nose Pass to go for the KOs, but Dragonite is a lot more dangerous, I would say. Slam now on the Dragonite. Latios being smart and using a physical move when his special attack has been lowered. Baby Mario unable to attack due to that paralysis. Latios has been able to get through that paralysis pretty well. Sure, it attacks third now because of the lowered speed, but at least it got through the paralysis and has still been able to attack. What will Dialga do? Most things will have to come from Dialga on Akko's team to win this. Vice Grip, critical hit on the Dragoon. Weakens it well, but Dragoon now waking up. Watch it use another rest. Or recover. Natural Gift, which actually works because they're holding a berry. Huh, and I don't remember what type its Leopard Berry gives them, but it's a good hit. Dragonite has lost the Leopard Berry now, so I can't heal its power points. But it is a good move, damages the Dialga. So I'd say it was a good move on Dragonite's part, because it doesn't often go to struggle by just running out of power points. Sweet Scent, lowering the evasiveness. So even though the accuracy of Dragonite was lowered, I don't think they'll be able to miss. Dragonite will be able to miss a standard 100% accuracy move, because the evasiveness of the others is now lowered. Egg Bomb. hitting Nose Pass. It's a rock type, but it's resisted. High physical defense, but it only had low HP, so Nose Pass does go down. Making the score 3-2. Still looking very good for Random, though, after that Ice Ball from earlier. Dragonite's Metronome calls for Ominous Wind, and it hits the Latios. Super effective. Very low health. It doesn't get the boosts. It doesn't get 10% chance to boost all of Dragonite's stats. That would have been something. Facade, another physical normal move from Latios. Hitting that Dragoon, being smart with it. Dialga will want to hit the Dragonite as well. But, like, they're legendaries. They might feel like they stand a chance, even against a Dragonite. But will they really stand a chance when they see Lord Helix? Lord Helix has praised us with her presence because it's a female Lord Helix. What will Lord Helix do? Will it explode? Will it use Flamethrower, Spatial Rend, or Splash? Or will it not get to move at all because Dragonite's going to finish them both off? Dialga first. Watch it do Seed Flare and just completely take something out. Hid underwater. Yeah, through the ground. I guess there is some water in this Colosseum. Dive would have been a lot weirder in Magma Colosseum. Acid misses Tobo. And otherwise it wouldn't have damaged it anyway because it's a Steel type. Latios doesn't quite get taken out by it. Very low health though. Will Lord Helix get a KO? Take down.
But the target Pokemon is in the water.
Yeah, that was aimed at Dialga, so that didn't work. It would have taken out Latios otherwise, most likely. Latios for soft boiled. Very good move, because otherwise it would have been taken out by anything, even a hail or a sandstorm. Good move by Latios. And we said Dragoon didn't have a way to heal its power points, but it saved itself on two of them, in a sense, in the two sleeping turns of rest. And it still has 6 power points remaining. I expect it'll be fine. Dive hits Lord Helix. If Lord Helix goes down by a good, well-placed Razor Leaf or something like that, and then Dragoon goes down, and Dragoon doesn't have that much HP left, then it suddenly becomes a 2v1 again. And it might be advantage Akko. So there needs to be a take-on one of them. Latios getting soft-boiled on the last turn could be clutch, because otherwise it could have been a 3v1 scenario, or really a 2v1 scenario twice. For that Dialga. I would still say that Random has the advantage, but it's sort of swinging back to Akko. Maybe, after all, Akko might win this match. Although Latios, you might have seen it, 3 power point stuff for Metronome. If it wouldn't have gone through, if it wouldn't have been stopped by Paralysis last turn, 2 left. Now Latios does still have the Leopard Berry. I was going to say it might struggle, but it does still have the Leopard Berry. Cuts from Tobu, that's on Omanyte. Now, you really want to hit Omanyte with either an electric move, or like a ground move, or especially a grass move, and otherwise target Dragoon, because that's a more dangerous one, I would say. Ring out, that's not going to deal much, because that depends, I think, on the opponent's health. Also, it's resisted. It's not that much. Lord Helix, you need a major move because it's starting getting a little bit worrying for Random. They do still want to win. Rock Slide hits both opponents and its stab. Resisted by Dialga. Pretty decent damage on both. Might flinch the Latios. Doesn't. Latios isn't stopped by Paralysis either. Gets off a Stun Spore on the Omanyte. Lord Helix now paralyzed as well. At a quarter of its speed and a 25% chance of losing its turn, just like Adios has. Speaking of Adios, it's been in the fight since the beginning. Ice Ball's taken out pretty much all the other ones. Latios is still there. Tobu, Metronome, just one move could take out the Dragonite, and there's a paralyzed Omanyte, which isn't very strong on the other side as well. So if Dragonite's gone, that might just be advantage Akko. Dragoon, you need something good. Get another rest, Sonic Boom. And that's not that great, but it's damage. Just keep racking up little bits of damage and you will take them out eventually. Gets through the paralysis once more. Feint attack on the Dragonite, and that is a KO, bringing the score back to 2-2. Might still be a full health Pokemon remaining on Random's side, but with an Omanyte as a partner, which is also paralyzed. It really could go both ways. And Random's final Pokemon is a Magneton, which is a pretty decent Pokemon. It's a Steel type, which resists quite a few types of moves. This could be pretty big, especially if there's another Soft Boil to recover or rest on Akko's side of the field. That could really change, but one move on Random's side could seal the deal as well. One well-placed Super Power Flamethrower Dragon Pulse. Let's see what we're gonna do. We're gonna see a Moonlight. I called it a Moonlight on Dialga's part, and Dialga's a more dangerous out of the two as well. Advance the Magneton. You need to do something good. Double Team might work. Speaking of the Double Team, the evasiveness on Dragonite with a minimize didn't really do that much in the end. I think it dodged only one move. Maybe two. The Fling. It's gonna fling its Lepiberry. That's actually.
But this is not a favorable matchup.
Random loves that turn. Not only does it restore their power points, but that doesn't really matter. I'm pretty sure that was the final Metronome on Latios. Meanwhile, Amidai healed with Morning Sun. That was the final Metronome on Latios. It would have healed after this turn with the Lepiberry, which meant that if it would have gone Fling next turn, Fling would have failed. Was it good that Fling, for them, that Fling worked? No, it was one, it didn't deal much damage. Two, they now can't heal their own power points. Latios now wants to get hit by the paralysis. Either that or hit either Advance or Lord Helix super hard, like a Seed Flare and Lord Helix or an Earth Power and Advance. Because there's no Metronome left. Adios is going to struggle. Now his maximum HP isn't 160. It's 155. So it'll take 38 damage in Struggle Recoil every turn. So it'll survive one Struggle Recoil if it doesn't get hit by anything else. The Evandra was swinging back to, to Akko, but... If Fling would have just come one turn later, it would have failed and wouldn't have mattered. That might have sealed the deal. Drill back on Ammonite. Ammonite might be a lot weaker in base stats than Dialga, but it is resisted. Advance now, just deal 2 damage on Latios, and that's a KO. Amnesia might be useful. Special defense increase and an evasiveness increase to just deal with the Dialga. Now, Typeless 50 power, that can still deal pretty good damage. It's decent on Lord Helix, but Adios will take itself out next turn if it doesn't get stopped by the paralysis. It's not looking too good. This turn could be extremely important. What is the Dialga gonna do? It brings that metal sound, just undoing the amnesia from last turn. Back to normal special defense. Wing attack not that strong, especially on a Dialga that resists it. But it makes sense to not hit the Dialga, the Latios, because it'll take itself out. Unless it gets fully paralyzed, which it basically wants at this point. But here comes Thunder Shock, dealing that final 2 damage. Lord Helix does get a KO on the Latios, which has been around since the beginning. And now it's 2v1. Dialga still the Pokemon with the highest base stats easily. And with a well-placed Earth Power or Razor Leaf or Seed Flare, could still decide the entire thing, but it is a 2v1 scenario. Which is a good advantage on Random's side. Lord Helix is paralyzed, it could still go both ways. And also we could just see an explosion or anything like that, it could still be a tie, we could see a Lunar Dance. Although I'm not sure if Lunar Dance would work if you don't have Pokemon to switch in. Advance with Rest, healing the tiniest bit of health. Lord Helix, what are we going to see from you? Something major? See a Dizzy Punch, might confuse him, you don't know.
But this is not a favorable matchup.
Not very much, but it's damage.
The battle has reached its
also just
final
4
stage.
Metronomes left on the Dialga. But Dialga does have its Lepiberry remaining, but we might still see Fling or Natural Gift on the final turn. Like we saw Fling with the Latios, and that completely messed that one up. Aerial Ace, that's on the wrong Pokemon. Not that Aerial Ace would have done too much on Omanyte, but Omanyte has lower defenses and resists it less. Lord Helix getting through the paralysis, very nice. Attacking while Magneton is unable to. Snore, no.
The move fails.
Did Lord Helix hear Magneton snore? Is that why they called it for snore? That might be a thing.
Dialga uses its
Aromatherapy. That's only in your own team, which doesn't do anything.
Magneton
Yeah.
still can't move.
Meanwhile, aromatherapy would have been nice on the other side, but nothing really happened that turn except Magneton getting one turn closer to waking up, which is most likely a good thing, but it could still get a bad move from the Metronome. Dialga again. 2 Metronomes left before Leopard Berry activates. Swallow doesn't do anything random, we'll like that. Magneton uses Embargo. Wait!
Omanite still
Does that include held items?
The battle has reached its final
Embargo
stage.
lasts a couple of turns, I think? Or is it permanent? I don't know. At least 2, I would think. At least 2 turns. Can't use items. If that includes held items, and especially if it's permanent. Wow. What would be interesting, let's say it works on held items, but it's not permanent. Then Dialga might, let's say, struggle for 2 turns,
Still has not decided
and then heal up again with Leopard Berry. But which happens first? The timing where Leopard Berry would activate, or Embargo running out, if it runs out. Imprison!
Magneton cannot move. The red corner has
Oh
no
my
ability
god!
to move.
Oh my god! What a match! We thought the last one was interesting with Rollout, and then Flatter, and then, was it something else? Parasong? No, something else? Icicle Spear. We saw Fling on the final thing. We saw an Embargo stopping Leopard Berry from being used. But we also saw Imprison. Dialga knows it was going to struggle, so it's now forcing both Magneton and Lord Helix to do the same. Because Imprison stops the opponent from using moves that you have. You, the Dialga, only has Metronome, so the opponents can't use Metronome. This is struggle for everyone. Everyone is struggling!
The only thing
They're all struggling! They're all going to take 1/4 of their health as recoil. Dialga will be hit twice. 50 base power, typeless physical move. So in that sense, there will be more recoil damage on the random side, but Dialga will be hit twice. Now, I do wonder, is Embargo permanent? Is Imprison permanent? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if either is permanent because I don't see it that much.
The battle has reached its final stage.
I think Dialga has 2 more turns. It'll go down in the second struggle, so I think it'll be... I think that might recoil. No, I think... Wait, it might be a tie. Depending on how this works out, it might be a tie. Next turn. Yeah, because Lord Helix will probably take itself out with struggle. And then Dialga might hit Magneton to take Magneton out next turn, and then take itself out with struggle recoil. And then that's a tie. This is the most... Lord Helix at the paralysis that might have won random the game. Being fully paralyzed there might have won them the game. Because Dialga will attack, Dialga will take itself out with recoil. It would have been a dang tie after 3 turns of struggle. What is this match? This needs to be a highlight of its own. This final 3-4 turns.
Oh, the attacker has lost all.
What?
But the opponent is down 2.
What? Embargo to set up the struggle for the turn after the final Metronome. And then the final Metronome one in prison. Random wins at 1-0. Started with the advantage for Akko. Random completely took over the advantage with Ice Ball, but the higher base stat Pokemon of Akko took it back. Made it really close, even in the 2v1 scenario. Latios made it look really good, but then Latios used Fling on their final Metronome turn. And then we saw... gosh. Embargo. And then Imprison. And then it random winning because 3 Pokemon struggled and Ammonite got paralyzed. So Lord Helix won the match, in a sense. Like, Magaton used the more important move, that being Embargo. But Lord Helix, in a sense, won because it got fully paralyzed and 1-4 chance. What? What? I don't... What do I say to this? What do I say? Except, what? All these matches will go to YouTube eventually. Like, not tomorrow, but eventually I'll put all of them up on YouTube. These final few turns, though, are going in a separate stream highlights video. That was ridiculous. Well, the legendary Dragon team lost. 1-0 win from Random.